How you guys doing? It is Charles, and today I'm going to do something I don't know if I've ever done for this channel, but it's a movie review. A movie I've been looking forward to seeing. I have health issues that make me leery about going out in public spaces with large groups of people. And outside of a musical stage, I have social anxiety, so I did not get to see the movie Sinners when it was in movie theaters. But today, on July 4th, Sinners released on HBO Max. Probably my favorite service. I like it so much, I subscribe to the more expensive commercial free version. But Ryan Coogler's Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, came out. I've heard so much buzz about it, and I was excited, but I was like, there's no way that this movie could live up to all of the hype. And boy, did it. Um, it was, I mean, you could compare it to any number of films like From Dusk Till Dawn to Color Purple, but it crossed so many genres, from historical drama to moments of comedy and levity to horror to history. So many different themes and genres that were covered here: the blues, music, and spirituality, and how it relates. And yeah, it was a very long movie. And usually, when I sit down and watch a movie, if it's more than like an hour and a half, I feel like it's reaching by the end. I feel like it's been too much. But by the end of the movie Sinners, I wanted more, but I didn't need more. It had done its job, but it told a complete story without dragging things along and without leaving anything on the floor. And as far as my review goes, the first thing I want to talk about is the music of Sinners. Um, it takes place in the 1930s in Mississippi, the segregated South. And the main star to me musically is the blues, but also gospel. And I love how they use in one scene where our main character is performing at the juke joint. They were talking about music and how it connects us from our ancestral roots to the future, and the way that they were able to seamlessly tie together music from the ancient past to what was going on then, to hip hop, to jazz, and all these different genres of music, and even cross culturally. One thing that I was afraid of, and I hadn't heard it, but a lot of times when you have movies that feature African American black characters, you get a lot of complaints about, the movie not being for everybody and certain people feeling left out of the experience. But I would say culturally and musically, it covered the whole gambit. The music was everything but blues to Irish folk music, and the cultures that were represented were everything from African American culture, of course, Native American culture, Irish folk dance songs. I mean, everybody was covered in an organic way that felt true to the time period, and it was connected beautifully. And I think one thing that I was not prepared for was just that seamlessness, not only with the blending of culture, the blending of music, but with the way the movie was filmed. You felt like you were walking through each scene, one from the other. Um, there is a scene that takes place in the downtown area of this small Mississippi town, this segregated Mississippi town, and one of the brothers that are opening up the juke joint, which, if you're not familiar with that term, when I was coming up, it was just a generic term for, like, a bar, a hangout, maybe not the most fancy place, but it's called the juke joint. And that they originated I would say around the Prohibition time, where people they would have contraband alcohol and they would have fish fries, and it would be unlicensed, unofficial bar um, for black folks to get together and just drink liquor and have a good time. And so I like how they have that culture there. But is one of the brothers who's opening the juke joint, he's downtown trying to get prepared, and he goes into a shop ran by a Chinese family, and he's buying supplies, the catfish and everything for the night, and he tells him that he wants a sign made. And so, the shop owner tells his daughter to go get his mother. And what you see is you follow directly from that scene and that interaction. I mean, if it wasn't a continuous shot, it felt like it, but you got to see the daughter leave the store, go down the street, and as you go down the street, you notice a change in the architecture and the people around her. And the people go from primarily African American people to where she crossed the street. And it's a whole different feeling, whole different group of people. And you see the mother behind the counter of a different store. And it was subtle, but it was also a very powerful way of showing the segregation and the separation of society. And she went in and told, the mother that they need a sign made, blah, blah, blah. And then as the mother walks back to the other store across the street to the black side of town, you get to see that transition again. And the whole movie, they did, I mean, you start from a historical drama and it goes to, I would say it starts as a historical drama and it turns into a celebration of music and culture and lore, and it becomes a horror movie slash vampire movie. And then we are at the end thrust back into the harsh reality of the segregated South. And with so many different themes and settings, you would think it'd be herky jerky, but not at all. And even the credits, the post credit scene, I'm glad I stuck around through the whole thing because there's a very cool cameo of somebody. If you are a guitarist like me, or even not even a guitarist, but a very cool cameo at the end that ties the whole thing together. And we get to see um, certain characters who we meet in the beginning of the movie. Uh, they come full circle. It's like 60 years after the time frame the movie takes place in. And I thought that was a very, very cool way to set things up. And the music, it was, like I said, it was seamlessly wound into the entire movie between blues and I loved how it was traditional blues, and then as during the vampire attack, as these people were turning everybody into vampires, and they were outside, and the vampires are doing like Irish folk music, which uh, I thought was a clever way of showing the difference of what was going inside the juke joint and what was going on outside, and the seeming contradiction, but at the same time, as these vampires became a hive mind of sorts, they shared in that Irish folk tradition. And so it wasn't even something that was culturally divisive. And so I thought that that was a nice touch. And I mean, there are so many themes. I could sit here and talk about the movie for an hour, and I couldn't do it justice. If you have Max, go watch Sinners. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you like science fiction, horror, nerdy stuff. If you like music, if you like historical drama, you like action, there's going to be something for you there. And, if you're looking for a reason to check out HBO Max, I think it's a good opportunity as well because you get to get access to that movie. And if you're a pro wrestling fan like I am, you get to watch all the AEW programming. And if you are a comic book fan like I am, you get to see all of the DC programming. And so I think now is a great time to check out Max. Great time to check out a great movie from Ryan Coogler. And on another note, one thing I found very, very exciting is I was reading, here it is right here, the newest edition of Bitterroot, the comic book series. And I'm currently reading Bitterroot, The Next Movement. And as I was watching the movie, it felt very much like this story right here, historical fiction. And I found out the other day that Ryan Coogler is in talks, working with Regina King to bring Bitterroot to fruition as a movie. And so, if you like the comic book Bitterroot, I can't suggest it enough. There are lots of parallels, but it is its own story. And I heard that, I heard rumblings and rumors that that he was originally going to try to make a Bitterroot movie, but this came up first. I can't verify if that's true or not. But the same mind that put together Sinners is going to be putting together Bitterroot, the movie. I want to see it like now. So check out Sinners on HBO Max. You can get it now on DVD and Blu-ray. And if you like Sinners, check out the comic book Bitterroot. The current series is Bitterroot, The Next Movement. We're coming up on issue number 4. I think you will really enjoy that. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep watching the movies. Keep reading them comic books. And I will see you next time.